Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It has been quite a while since I've last spoke to you all, but I wanted to give you all a heads up about what's been going on about Trump's victory over Hillary. Don't want you all thinking that I wasn't involved in that, because I certainly was. Of course, if you've heard Trump, he's already been saying that he's going to make an executive order that cuts out any administrative or executive office individual like myself from actually being a lobbyist. Well, I'm just telling you all that through Trump, so you know that I'm going to still be behind the scenes doing all the actual decisions. Let me give you a little hint as to why Trump has changed his mind about certain aspects. For one thing, he's not going to actually prosecute Hillary anymore. Well, guess who told him to do that? Me. I told him to do that. Or maybe I should be a little more specific and say the Illuminati told Trump not to do that. Now why? Well, because we've actually been under the orders of the Illuminati since I took office in 2008. Now Trump's taking command. And of course, I have to tell you all, I was shocked to find out that Hillary didn't win, but then found out my bros didn't actually vote for me. They didn't come to the polls and vote. They just sat at home. And I think I know why, because you see, y'all all figured, well, Hillary's got it in the bag. We got no worries. We got no concerns. That last email I sent to all of you, I think I made a little too much boasting about Hillary she was going to get it. There was no problems. And so that's why you probably all figured, well, there's no reason for us to go and vote. But what was I doing those last couple of days? I was trying to get out there and tell you, hey, y'all need to vote anyway. Of course, here I was probably figuring that it's better to promote Hillary than it is to say it in my private emails I was sending out to all my constituents and all my friends, so to speak. So in that regard, I'm sorry that I didn't give you all a little more heads up about what Trump was planning to do. But I just want to let all of you who actually did vote for Trump know right here and now, that's why he's doing an about face on a lot of the stuff he said he was going to do during the campaign. The other main thing that I can probably tell you all is that he's going to probably stick with my Obamacare because I told him to. That's why I spent an hour and a half talking to him after the election. He and I had some words, I admit that, and I told him flat out, I am not telling you to do this, Donald. The Illuminati is telling you to do that. If you don't know who the Illuminati is, and I don't think I need to tell you all, but I will, this is a group of individuals who control all the global financial systems, banks, stock exchanges, all these different places. And the Illuminati represents not only the Bilderberg group, but several other groups, many of who I can't really talk about because they don't want me telling everybody all the little factoids about who they really are. But they make the decision, folks, about who is the president. It has nothing to do with who voted. We had to create an illusion that Trump won the election because those who sleep in this country, and that primarily is the whites, they finally came out and voted. In a way, that's true, but Hillary had already got all the Electoral College votes. So the question now becomes in a lot of your minds, how come Hillary didn't win anyway? Well, I think the Illuminati is trying to indirectly tell us all it doesn't matter who's the president. It all has to do with what they decide. And I think Trump's little giveaways of what he was going to do and not do after the election, that's kind of like a calling card from the Illuminati. They're telling you, we control him. We control what he says from here on out because now he's in the White House. He will be. And he may not run it exactly like I did, but I promise you, he will control what happens, only because the Illuminati tells him to. And it doesn't matter how he has rambled on and on about things, you're seeing little cracks in his polished, candy-coated shell, and now he's kind of showing you all that he's not going to be doing all the little things he kept saying he was going to do, like Hillary. He's not going to change Obamacare. Another thing that you probably heard about is that he wants to build a wall to keep the Mexicans out, to keep the Muslims out, my friends. Well, that technically did not mean a physical wall. It means an increase in security. That includes the Border Patrol. Well, the Illuminati has all the, probably hear, hands, nose, whatever. You know, they know what they're going to do. And I think you're going to see after Trump takes office in January that it's going to come full circle. He's going to be telling people, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to this, you know. President-elect Trump was sitting there on Thanksgiving Day telling the American people, oh, I'm working right now. I'm working today. Yeah, he's doing a lot more than I ever did. I admit that. But what he hasn't done has been to instigate the kinds of things he kept hammering on the whole time of his campaign. Now, the Democratic Party, my socialist party, were really, really good at keeping Hillary above board when it came to the protesters, the rioters, all the rest of them during Trump's campaign. We kept her out of it because we had indirect people who were working subcontract, that sort of thing. This way it never tied directly back to the Democratic Party. Yeah, they've been bringing that out on CNN and some other networks. But, you know, Hillary was never prosecuted for it, and I guarantee you she never will because Illuminati doesn't want her to. They don't want her involved in this. That's why Trump turned around and said, I'm not going to prosecute her. There ain't no reason to prosecute her. Okay, yeah, I said I was going to investigate her. Hey, look at him. He's doing a 360-degree turn. He's gone back to what I was saying as president of the country. I mean, we're not going to do nothing to Hillary. You know, she's the golden girl of the Democratic Socialist Party. Everybody knows that. So I really just wanted to do this video for my legions of admirers and those who just bow down and kiss my feet, my behind, and just tell you all, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going to be out of this process of what we call laughably the political system. I'm still going to be there. The Illuminati knows from my 8 years of being president that I can do the job and I can make sure it all stays together. And I'm not going nowhere. So you let Donald Trump pretend that he's in charge of this country. But you're going to see more and more little cracks in that stern strength that he kept talking about. Law and order. I'm going to get the country working again. I'm going to this. You know what? That's all great as talk. But when it comes time to actually do it, you can see, hey, somebody else is making those decisions. Somebody else is telling him, you can't do that because that's not the way that the New World Order wants it. So you're going to be seeing more and more of this in the future, okay, folks? So if you're scared, if you're worried about what Trump's going to do, I'm still in control. I'm Barack Hussein Obama, and I personally approve of this message that I'm sending out to my legions of fans, of my admirers, and the Illuminati is very much in control of this. And I will give you a little spoiler in this. George Soros is directly and very much involved in the Illuminati. He may not be an actual part of it. I would think he is, but George was always telling me things while I was in the White House about how we have to create one perception in the public's mind, and in the reality of it, we're going to do whatever we want to because people are stupid enough and blind enough to accept it. And we've been doing that, haven't we? We've been able to create riots at a moment's notice. We've given the NAACP all this power to instigate legal precedents on things. I mean, they're going after the Confederacy issue everywhere you look. You know, how could the NAACP in 24 hours get 4 or 5 southern states to retract and renege on their Confederate Sons of Confederate license plates? How did they do that so fast? You know why? It isn't just because of George Soros. It isn't because just of me. It's because the Illuminati gave them that authority to take those things and say, you know, this is a little cursor. This is a little pretense. It's a preview of what the New World Order is all about. And you know, Hillary, even last year, was telling the American public, we have to abandon religion. She wasn't talking about Muslim, Islam. She's not talking about Hinduism. She ain't talking about nothing except one thing. Christianity is going to be obliterated. And if it ain't Trump doing it himself, or Mike Pence, it's going to be the Illuminati doing it through other means. So you got a facade of two people who are really what the American people want. They want somebody who's going to get the country back on track. Ain't going to happen, because I'm still here, and so is Hillary, and so is the Illuminati, and so is George Soros and several other 100 people who are working on this process. So if you still believe it's going to get better, folks, I'm sorry to tell you it's not, and you may as well just accept it and give in to what the New World Order is going to tell you to do. So, hey, it's been great. Keep watching your emails for more of my personal messages to all of you who have been helping to keep the riots and the protests going, because it's going to keep going no matter how hard the Republicans try to stop it. They're not going to prosecute you. Don't worry about that. We're going to keep it going. We'll keep it all in the dark. Nobody's going to know about it, especially whites. So that's what I'm telling you. Keep listening. Keep watching your emails, because you're going to get more messages from me. And Michelle probably will be too. So please keep watching your emails. Thank you.
This message was transmitted by internet and over email servers to all loyal and advocates of President Barack Obama. Please keep all contacts private and confidential, and do not share it with anybody, especially whites. If you have friends who are in the Muslim community, please be sure to forward it to them. And if you happen to be in or outside of the United States, in Canada, Mexico, or some other foreign country, please be sure to encrypt it so that then they cannot be intercepted by the CIA or other operatives.
Today I would like to provide the American people with an update on the White House transition and our policy plans for the first 100 days. Our transition team is working very smoothly, efficiently, and effectively. Truly great and talented men and women, patriots indeed, are being brought in, and many will soon be a part of our government, helping us to make America great again. My agenda will be based on a simple core principle: putting America first. Whether it's producing steel, building cars, or curing disease, I want the next generation of production and innovation to happen right here on our great homeland, America, creating wealth and jobs for American workers. As part of this plan, I've asked my transition team to develop a list of executive actions we can take on day one to restore our laws and bring back our jobs. It's about time. These include the following. On trade, I am going to issue our notification of intent to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a potential disaster for our country. Instead, we will negotiate fair bilateral trade deals that bring jobs and industry back onto American shores. On energy, I will cancel job-killing restrictions on the production of American energy, including shale energy and clean coal, creating many millions of high-paying jobs. That's what we want. That's what we've been waiting for. On regulation, I will formulate a rule which says that for every one new regulation, 2 old regulations must be eliminated. So important. On national security, I will ask the Department of Defense and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to develop a comprehensive plan to protect America's vital infrastructure from cyber attacks and all other form of attacks. On immigration, I will direct the Department of Labor to investigate all abuses of visa programs that undercut the American worker.